Hey there, it's Lynn, day 21 of my 22 Push-Up Challenge 2.0. Hope everyone's having a good evening. I wanted to talk just a little bit this evening about the less common symptoms of depression that may pop up that, we think are perhaps just related to being fatigued or the type of day we've had, but that do pop up and persist for some people who are experiencing depression. For example, an indecisiveness outside of the previous character of the person or of yourself if you're feeling depressed. That is kind of a different symptom of depression, but persistent indecisiveness where it did not exist before is certainly something to pay attention to. Neglect of self-hygiene habits, neglect of grooming. One of the easiest ways of determining whether or not that may be an issue with someone is whether or not noticing whether or not they've stopped combing or brushing their hair. A person's self-presentation, when that kind of falls off the rails and persists to fall off the rails outside of their norm, that may also be an indicator of depression. Doing certain activities to an excess, such as Facebook, shopping, this type of thing, activities that perhaps keep the individual busy but may not have a clear goal at the end. Those types of excessive engagement in those types of activities may be an indicator that the person is feeling depressed, or that you are feeling depressed. It's a way to kind of isolate yourself. Other symptoms may include excessive daydreaming, feelings of nothingness, excessive substance use, and perhaps to the extreme, although this is more common, as we know from this challenge, than previously thought, feelings of suicide, feelings of wanting to do harm to yourself, or thinking about ways that you may alleviate your pain by doing harm to yourself. May manifest in suicidal behavior or other behaviors such as cutting. Those are the less common but definitely important signs that may indicate you or someone you know is depressed if they persist. How to know when these types of behaviors, when it's not obvious, how to know when it's a problem, when the individual or yourself requires assistance from an appropriate medical professional. In terms of depression, if symptoms persist longer than 2 weeks, definitely seek the advice of a trusted, appropriate professional. If you're having feelings of harm, not just towards yourself, but perhaps fantasies or daydreams of harming others, if you're experiencing anger to that extent, that would be another indicator that it is time to find someone you can trust to talk to about what's going on, and perhaps come up with treatment strategies. If you're finding that your work is disrupted, if you're finding that your sense of self, of feeling present and feeling agency in the world, if that is disrupted over a prolonged period of time, certainly a couple of weeks, and just does not seem to go away, certainly those are indicators that you may need to speak to someone, and you should speak to someone. And perhaps, as I said, devise treatment strategies, whether they be medicinal or non-medicinal, or a combination of the two. I have, as mentioned, posted a couple of really good links on my Facebook page, and the links will be included in this YouTube post as well, to a couple of articles in terms of the uncommon signs of depression, as well as an article that outlines very clearly when you should seek treatment, and what the persistent behaviors might look like if you are someone who is depressed or becoming depressed and needs some help. So, a lot to think about tonight as well, much like last night. There are a lot of resources out there. I did try to sort through and find some targeted good resources that really provide real-world examples for people of what to expect when they're feeling depressed. Before I do my push-ups, I'd also just like to say that tomorrow is the last day of the challenge. So I'll be recapping a bit and also talking about how we form our circle of support and who we want to bring in and note as our circle of support. I think that's a helpful way to approach moving forward in life for anyone, but particularly for our combat vets who are returning home from deployment and may have multiple issues that they need to work through or deal with, whether they be emotional, physical, social. So yes, tomorrow, as well as the recap, talking about circle of support and how to make that happen, and how to make your life more functional. Okay, here I go with my push-ups tonight. Let's see what happens. I think I'm doing well for all 22 in a row, and let's see if I can do it again. Okay. Ooh, I think that was 22. Definitely have to count them tonight, though. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Thanks for all the support. Hope the information I've provided in the video and the links tonight has been helpful. Remember, protect the protectors, love our veterans, and remember, depression hurts, and it does affect everyone. Not just the person who is depressed, but the people around them. So let's keep this conversation topic on the table and active. And as I mentioned before, as well as wrapping up tomorrow night, we'll talk a little bit more about depression and circle of support. Okay, have a great night, everyone. Ciao for now.